Hello everyone and welcome back to another awesome episode of Historical Recreations. Today we're going to be learning how to create miniature books just like these. Now if you were into making say tiny dioramas or doll houses, or you have some type of project where you need miniature books with all the pages in contact and something that you wanted to have that was individually special, today this tutorial will speak to your heart. I will be showing you how to create all of these special little tiny leather bound books, and they are very easy to make. Are you willing to learn? Then join me. Using post-it notes as the main source to create the books. Look, they're already pre-cut, pre-made, and beautifully flip open like a book. Now if you're looking for a tutorial on how to put all the wording in there, there are other videos on YouTube. However, these are just miniature props to put in your project. You'll be needing today a soft brush for painting, a pair of scissors for cutting, a pencil for measuring out on your paper today. The paper of choice is the interior of a shopping bag. The color is manila. And I'll be using some white glue. Our two colors also of choice are black number 999 and a burnt umber 925, which are two of my favorite prop making colors, and also a glue gun and glue stick. Anything else is in the tutorial. Join me. Okay, so let's unbox these little fellas and find out how to get in there. What a cool box this is. We have two different sides and a spine, but what we need to do is we need to cover these. We also need to create the lines down the side to create the stitching, and we need to create covers, age them, and make them look much less 21st century post-it notes. You can use so many different types of paper to create vellum finishes, to create leather finishes, anything you want to do. But today I am using manila colored paper from the inside of a shopping bag. I penciled it out a little bit to know exactly where the spine was and where the front cover and the back cover was going to go down. I would suggest now using your white glue, and let's glue that in place. There are so many different ways to making miniature books. So some of the miniature books that I've seen online are readable. You can actually print them out and then fold them and make them. But if you wanted just an instant prop to put on your shelf, say you had a Harry Potter diorama and you just wanted to put something on there that really no one was ever going to take off the shelf and read, this by far is the easiest way to go. Just pop that right on there. Pop the cover on. Focus it down. Wow, so easy. Okay. Fold it on there and let that dry. Now what I'm going to do is use the rest of the post-it notes and create more books. When I get an assemblage of books, we're going to start the coating on the edges of the binding. Okay, let's make the books. And here at Historical Recreations, we always go the extra mile. Today in front of you, I have three different types of paper. I have a vanilla sheet paper, which would be, I think, about a 100 weight on this one. And we, of course, we have our regular everyday A4 typing paper, and also we have this very thin piece of tissue paper. Now it is brown, and if you watch my other tutorials on how to make medieval books, you'll know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Yes, I'm going to be replicating a miniature medieval style book. So with that in mind, we want to make sure all of our miniature books have different styles of cover. We want as much variety when we put them on our miniature bookshelf. So let's do these today. Now I get to show you exactly where we are in our building. Now behind you over here we have the 3 different types of paper. I have not put the tissue paper on some of the books yet, but we will. Anyways, let's show what we had made today. As you can see, we had put the coating on with the yellow. I had done 2 of the shopping bag style, one here, one with the vanilla colored paper, 2 with the typing paper. Now let's go over this side. Yeah, we used the color ones as well. Why not? Let's create, right? So I had done 1 with the shopping bag and I coated 2 with the typing paper. And the last one is very unusual because when I opened the box of Post-it notes, there was a very special piece of cardboard inside, which was the advertisement. Look, it even has a line down the side of it. If you can see very carefully, this is the Post-it note advertisement that was inside of the box. So we're using everything here today at Historical Recreations. Let's put on our tissue paper and make a couple of these books leather bound. And look at our little mini books. They're all coated with their little covers on them. So cute. Now, with that, I have my hot glue gun heating up right now. Be very careful with hot glue guns. I bet you're wondering what this is. This is Amos air dried clay, and I'm going to be demonstrating something today. These are prop books that I have made from one of my videos. If you watched how to make antique leather bound books and prop books from my collection. These are just 3 of them that are looking like they're leather bound. This is the masking tape tutorial one that I haven't shown or made a video on yet, but I will. But we're going to focus on these right now. As you can see, they are raised. They have a raised binding on it. If you wonder how I made that with the air dried clay. And if you wanted to use this same technique on your mini books, you can. However, you got to know that by putting just a tiny bit of clay on there, I should demonstrate one today, you're going to have to wait 24 hours before you can paint the book. If you're using the hot glue gun method, you can do it immediately. Okay, onto that. Aren't these cool? If you want to check out my other videos on how to make prop books for your, I don't know, Harry Potter style library, go check them out. I'll leave a link in down below. Okay, let's check out, make sure the hot glue is going. Yes, it is. Now, to do this, what I have learned over the years of doing this is the basic element of making a very cool looking antique book is to make 5 evenly spaced lines on the spine of your book. And this is the binding part. You could go a little bit off of the edges if you wanted to. Let this hang down a little bit on this side. You can just do a little drop over here because that's how the binding looks. If you ever seen antique books, I had seen books from the 1400s and the 1500s at a bookshop that was selling them. I couldn't believe that they were selling these things, but I remember the bindings hanging off. Very, very, very roughed up, the better it looks. Wow, we just finished one of them. Okay, now let's do them. Let me now demonstrate the clay technique, okay? You guys are so lucky today because I'm using one of the brown wrappered ones to show and demonstrate how to do this technique. It is very, very simple. You're just going to need a teeny tiny bit of any color of clay you want to use. You're going to make a very small line and apply that line on here. Now, when you touch the air dried clay to any surface, it will just stick. And there, I put the lines on just so nice. Don't worry about the stuff on the side. Anything that mars up a book always looks a little bit better, I say. Wow, so we have these very, very pronounced seamed spines on there. So we're going to let this one dry for 24 hours and then we'll play with this one tomorrow, okay? That's so cool. And here they are all together. Now, this is the one that has the clay on it, so he needs to go over here to dry for 24 hours. We'll get to him tomorrow. However, these little guys are all ready to be aged and stained. So now we're going to mix up the appropriate color and we're going to start aging these books. Ready to do it? Let's go. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate how to create a wash for the pages. And we are using today a burnt umber number 925. And this is my favorite color. Being a prop maker, I use it so much for so many different things. But here we're using a ratio, I'm going to say about 1 part color to about 3 parts water. So we're going to be mixing this up very, very lightly and creating a slurry. As you can see, it's a very easy slurry to make, and we're going to stain these pages, and we'll just go like this. Let that color settle right in. You can see with the glue right there, the glue was on the page right there, it showed up, but that just adds to the mystique of the book, because we're going to do a couple stainings on there, and that's what's just going to make it more awesome. These are just elements that just keep things cool and interesting. So we're going to stain up all the pages on the book like this to age them beautifully. I love how this came out already with the yellow blending into the book. So let's stain up all of our pages. Now I get to demonstrate how these came out. All of the book's edges have been stained. The yellow performed a certain way, and even the purple and the blue ones have performed a certain way. They're amazing how the variances have already started to pique my interest. I'm actually enjoying how the purple and the burnt umber became a different colored paper, and we're going to actually add more layers to that, but right now, while that is sinking in, let's start painting some of the covers. You can see already here there was actually a bit of staining going on, and we are just going really into a 1-to-1 ratio right now of our burnt umber and water, and just let it go on there nice and evenly. This. And just put it aside to let it dry. I love how the glue creates an unusual staining. This one over here is a special one that we worked on. It's a heavier book cover. Now I'm also going to be mixing and maybe even doing a few of these in black. I could probably hear someone out there saying, I wish I could do that right now. It's fun. It's very fun to just create these little tiny books. I'm having a blast doing this. This is actually really relaxing and fun. I am now painting the tissue papered book we have. So this one came out really nice. Just letting all of that paint settle into the cracks and the grooves of the tissue paper. Double staining it. And once we have this finish, I'll put an aging wash on there. Look at these little guys. They're all dried. So we have a wide range of different colors. You can see how our tissue paper came out this beautiful sienna red color. Of course, I have now 2 in our black color here, and we also used our dark burnt umber, but we are far from done. I want to show you 2 more amazing elements. We can go back into the black number 999, and with our black book we can use an overcoat of pastel sand number 971. So let's age these books down. And with our black books today, we're going to age them. We want to corrode this, and I'm using today a pastel sand color number 971. Put this aside, just the top of it here. Going in with my watercolor brush. And we're going to create a slurry, but we're also going to do some deduction today, and that's what the paper towel is for. The ratio here is 1-to-1. putting on a coat to age. Don't be afraid to just put that set up for a moment. Okay, with a paper towel. Just do a little bit of water on that. Bring that to life. I'm going to show you deduction. Look at that. Look how that just became a completely new material. It looks like it has just been aged for 100 years. Beautiful. Brand new and aged. Now if you're asking why I used the paper and not a styrofoam dish, is the typing paper sucks a lot of the water and it's still a very liquidy paint, but it thickens it. Just tips and tricks of the trade. Things I've learned along the line. This one came out really pretty. And our final little book today. Look, all the clay has dried. It's been 24 hours since we last did this. And again, I'll be doing the staining on the edges and then painting this down. Not sure exactly what color we're going to make it because we have such a beautiful collection now. So let me try to surprise you on this one. And then we're going to look at the complete collection. Are you ready? Let's do this. And here they are, the complete family of miniature books. So let's now take a closer look at our book binding and the individual and special qualities of each and every book. This one here was the black, and we had coated it. Beautifully done. I love the way that it came out. Another one here, look at that beautiful cover. How about the next one with the clay? We used this one on the clay for the spines. And I love how this one came out with the tissue paper. Very, 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 very mysterious and mystical. Another beautiful leather stained book. How about these ones? Look at this. Completely different from each and every one of them. Another one came out here. The speckled black, very different from the other one we had created. And two more. These came out beautiful. And here it is, the complete collection of miniature books. Gothically yours, Professor M.